Wife has been using annual girls' trip as an annual hall pass. Part 5. I can't believe 8 years have gone by. I had all but forgotten about my posts when I hit the Facebook Reels and a robot voice started reading my story to me. That got my feeling nostalgic, and I decided to give an update for you lifelong Redditors who might remember me. Donald's wife Leslie went absolutely nuclear. She was a Somm, and when she got my email I guess it was the confirmation of her suspicions. After initially lashing out at Gwen, I guess she realized Don was the real villain in her story. She dug in at that point and found other affairs, as well as thousands of dollars spent on OnlyFans over the years. She got the right judge for her and Don was ordered to pay alimony and child support. And if that wasn't enough, she then aired all of this on social media the second the divorce went final. It was quite entertaining. I have only the vaguest idea about what happened to John. Gwen told me all his socials went dark right after I messaged his wife. About 2 years ago he popped up again on my friend suggestions on Facebook. I clicked on his profile and he appeared to be single and living about 1,500 miles away. Scarlett was divorced immediately. She also cut out Gwen blaming her for being found out. If they didn't have so many other mutual friends and acquaintances I'd probably be in the dark, but instead have the whole pitiful story. Her prenup had an infidelity clause so she was only entitled to a quarter of what would have been standard in a divorce. He also figured out who her AP was and outed him to his wife. That led to their divorce. Scarlett and the other guy apparently went official after this, and she ended up pregnant about a year in. Surprise, surprise, they are miserable. He still cheats just now on her instead of with her. She has put on a lot of weight and those mutual friends report she is just a shell of her former self but won't leave because this has to work or it was all for nothing. Now to Gwen. She did try to contest the divorce at first, but that didn't last long and she signed off. The whole process took about 6 months. During that time she continuously tried to get me to stop and reconcile. But the level of delusional she had shown alone was more than enough for me to never even consider doing that. While the twins have always said she was wonderful when they were with her, I know that when she was on her own she ended up in a pretty self-destructive cycle, drinking and partying, that often ended in her contacting me to work things out. This hit a high point when Kate, my now wife, and I went official. One night she had too much to drink and drove, wrecked her car, and had several broken bones and required extensive physical therapy, in addition to the legal issues she was now in. The wreck did serve as wake-up call and she finally started therapy. The therapy has been great for her, and she has actually dealt with her narcissistic behaviors and delusional ideals. It took a couple of years, but she actually genuinely apologized for her infidelity, and recognized that she wasn't doing this for us. She has been great co-parent since and we are pretty friendly with each other. Twin birthdays and event are often done together now without any drama. Gwen met a guy like 3 years ago and they are in a poly relationship, which was the least shocking revelation I have ever had. They got married a year ago but she still has her boyfriend of 2 years, and yes, sometimes all of these people are at the same event at the same time. I've learned to just roll with it. Her asshole dad, Gary, however, hasn't, and has essentially cut Gwen and twins out of his life. My former MIL wasn't having it and divorced the old bastard. He is now an angry, bitter, lonely old drunk. As for me, I'm doing great. Once the divorce went final I had every intention of manwaring myself across the whole city. I got the apps, and matched quickly with a few women. I went out with Kate, now 37F, who was in a similar recent divorced situation and was looking to just enjoy some freedom. First date went great, she stayed the night at my place. Then we ended up spending the next day together. Then kept messaging through the week. She canceled a date with someone else so we could spend the next weekend together. I ended some conversations with the other women I'd matched with. Then we both dropped the apps. Next thing we knew we have been in a relationship for almost 8 years. Married for 6 of those with a 3-year-old daughter. So while our plans of playing the field didn't pan out, things still turned out pretty well. Don't know that I'll ever update again. Thanks once more to all those who read my story, offered advice and well wishes. Who would have ever thought that simply checking a bank account could cause at least 6 divorces, a poly relationship, and me being a 42-year-old toddler dad? But I guess that's life for you.